I'm on Hayward Road at Ausherman Properties and now the Ausherman Family Foundation offices. Beautiful in here. I'm with Leigh, the Executive Director of Ausherman Family Foundation. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm doing
great.
really good.
We were just talking. I think I first met you when you were at Goodwill. So was nonprofit always your idea?
I always felt myself gravitating to nonprofit work. Like even as a kid, my family volunteered a lot. We did a lot of that kind of stuff. And then out of college, I worked for a restaurateur, and he had me doing a lot of community building with the different restaurants that he owned. And I found myself always meeting nonprofits and doing like the fundraising nights and then learning their missions and then growing and getting involved with them. And so I did that for a few years, then felt called to a nonprofit, and I worked for a local nonprofit for a number of years and kind of got the lay of the land from a nonprofit side, and then came to the foundation.
Yeah, excellent. Are you from this area originally?
I am. My family was born. I was born in Germantown and came here when I was real little.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Ivesville area.
Okay, very good, very good. So you're very connected, and now especially, obviously, the Ausherman Family Foundation is kind of interspersed in a little bit of everything here in Frederick.
We keep busy.
You definitely do. What is it like to be a part of a foundation like this that you guys are really integral in a lot of things here in Frederick?
It's amazing. It's a blessing. One thing that I feel really fortunate about is I have a great team around me, staff and trustees and community advisors, and everyone really has a pulse on what's happening in the community. And it's really nice to kind of have this, high view of what's happening and who's doing what, and to be able to connect people together. And really awesome things have come out of some of the collaborative work that's happening. I mean, the nonprofit space in Frederick is very special with how collaborative it is with government and for-profit businesses, and so it's been great.
Yeah. What is the mission for Ausherman Family Foundation?
So it's really inspiring change and building up communities, empowering the passion for change in Frederick County.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot through thriving nonprofits and superior quality of life and beautification of places.
Is there any way that Frederick can help you? Like what can the citizens of Frederick do to support what you guys are doing?
Well, I think it's really getting involved, in their community, finding out the things that they're excited about, what nonprofits are doing. Nonprofits are always in such, need for volunteers, for, resources, for board membership. We are doing a lot of community voice and figuring out what do different communities need and what solutions they're closest to the problems and the solutions, and how advocating for what things that you think can make your community better. Those kind of things. Yeah.
Is there like 2 or 3 things that you can think of in like the near future that you guys already see that this is going to be, kind of the growth area for need in our community?
One of the big projects that we've been working on for a number of years now with a bunch of different community members that's really coming to a head is a downtown youth center. So we've been working closely with the city of Frederick and the county. The county has a building off of Scotty's Bus Lane that they are in the process of gifting to the city of Frederick. And we, Ausherman Family Foundation, and through Ausherman Properties, are going to help renovate that building to become a downtown youth center. And what's nice about this is this really was born out of community needs assessment. We brought the community together a number of years ago through this Downtown Safety and Services initiative that was looking at the creek, and brought a bunch of providers and residents and police, everybody together to talk about how can we make sure that the downtown area is vibrant and safe for all. And so there was a services and coordination committee which brought a lot of the human service providers together, just started talking about things that they're seeing, and one of the needs that was identified was a downtown youth center, because there was needed for a place for kids to just go and be, and they were getting in trouble for things that really just kids are being kids, but it was it was a nuisance. So then they kind of peeled that layer back, and it's like, well, there's so much kids that are experiencing homelessness need a place to go to get food because they're not old enough to go into the food, there's all this stuff. And so we learned of that, and then we hired a consulting firm to come in and really study this. We heard that it's a need. Is it is it really a need, and is there capacity to this? And we do that a lot at our work, is bringing in and really drilling into something to make sure that, like, does this make sense? Do we have the capacity? So after that experience, we talked to about 120 providers, a lot of youth that were involved in this, and it came out the recommendations that yes, we did need a downtown youth center that was kind of like a hub and spokes model, where there wouldn't be like an anchor provider per se, but there'd be a lot of groups that were, you know, working in tandem together, and different organizations would come in on certain days, but it could be a place where kids could come in and kind of be navigated to other places. But just and equally as important as the youth center was a network of providers. And so we've been working for the last couple of years to bring the providers together to talk about that. Like, what does that mean? So we've called it the 12 to 24 Collaborative, and we're in the process of really formalizing it. And at the end of that process, the nonprofits, the youth that serve youth in that age group, you know, will sign a charter and be a part of this group. And the goal is that, you know, we're stronger together, looking at cross-cutting issues that are across that age, where 12 to 24, they're launching into adulthood, they're launching into all kinds of things. There's, you know, no matter what socioeconomic background you're from as a kid, like, there's always going to be something that you need help navigating.
Yes.
And so those two elements of the network and the building are something that we've been really working on. So some of the successes is a new youth council came out of the efforts of that group. And so they've been meeting for about a year now. I want to say there's 19, maybe 15 or 19 youth that are those ages that are helping to design this building, that are helping to inform programming. I would highly recommend you talk to those kids because they're amazing.
Wow, I didn't even know any of this. Yeah. That is so exciting.
It's exciting. And the really cool part is we've already raised almost $6.5 million for the project through Trone and through some bond bill initiatives. And the nice thing is the campus, so if you can envision Scotty's bus lane, and so it is adjacent to Mental
gray
Health.
building.
Yeah. So the county had that for years for, I want to say they had like there's some equipment in there.
Yeah.
And so that building, through advocacy from a lot of these nonprofit providers, will then become the center. It backs up to South End Park, which is city owned, which is in the process of being kind of revisioned. And that backs up to Burke Street, which is where kids that are under 12 go.
Right.
The Boys and Girls Club, thank you.
Yeah.
And then across the street from that is the baseball field, which is city-owned. So now we have this youth campus that's coming together.
That's really
that
amazing.
Will be just hopefully, you know, change the game for youth providers. And so we're very excited about how everyone has come together to make this a reality. And so we're in the fundraising goals right now to finish, get us to the point where we've raised enough to start construction. Ideally, if everything falls into place, then we would be able to have this open in maybe 2028. And so it should be. So yeah, that's a great opportunity for people to step up and get involved in things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think just finding out about that is amazing, number one. Number two, you know, making sure that we can support our youth, because they are our community of today and tomorrow. So yeah, that's really fascinating. How exciting to be a part of that. And to you know, bring something like that to Frederick, which I think is really
like
great.
After COVID, a lot of the youth just, you know, all the studies show that they're in mental health crises. Parents are stressed out. Like so hopefully this. Well,
and the Mental Health Association is right there too, and so being able to provide resources, like you say, I think we have so many amazing organizations in Frederick, and it is very collaborative. As I've talked to a lot of them meet with each other and say, hey, I can't, can you, and we've got this person, how can we help? And I just think that's a phenomenal, that does make our city stronger.
And it's nice if a nonprofit has a reach into a certain, you know, community, that there's like continuum of care for these youth. So maybe they get in somewhere, but then they're connected through all the different services that are through the nonprofit partners that are in that collaborative, essentially. So That's one I'm excited about.
Yes, I can see why. That would get me motivated to wake up every day, I'm sure. Do you guys have any particular goals that you really would like to achieve in the next year, 3 years, 5 years? Do you kind of look that far forward, or you're...
Yeah, we're actually about to do our own strategic planning. We do that as a foundation every couple years.
Okay.
This year, we've been adding community advisors to our committees, which has been amazing because it just helps us to have a different pulse on things. So bringing everyone together to figure out, like, what does it look like for our community, our needs? How do we need to pivot and change to make sure that we're addressing those? We've been so focused on the last, since the conception, I guess, of the foundation to build the capacity of our nonprofits. We do so much capacity building work, which is, strategic plans for nonprofits. Maybe it's a development plan, bringing in consultants to kind of meet them where they're at to get them to the next level. Is it board governance? Is it, back office supports and making sure their chart of accounts and all their things are, so if they can really have all that stuff together, then they can just really focus on their mission of getting things done. So again, that speaks to our mission of the superiority quality of life of our nonprofits. But a lot of that stuff. Public art is something that we're really passionate about. We've done a lot of pieces across downtown and in the county, and so finding opportunities. Public art brings people together and really is transformative in nature. So.
Yeah, well, that's excellent. Well, I think you guys have plenty on your plate and more coming. Want to thank Leigh so much. The Ausherman Family Foundation, building a better Frederick, and we love that, making a stronger community. And if you'd like more information, I'll have the website on screen. You can research more about it and maybe see if there's something here that you can help with, for sure. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.